Johanna. Johanna.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm filming another little video on some new printables that I just added to my Etsy shop. I just want to share this little video showing you how to assemble these newest pieces that I've been drawing. So they are some lift the flap fold out pieces for your journals. So I was really inspired by children's books that have the little lift the flap fold out pieces where you can lift up a picture to reveal a different picture, and I thought it would be cool to have something similar in a journal, an illustrated piece that you can lift up and then have either like a photo underneath or some journaling or whatever you like underneath. So I've got some pieces here. These are actually just my little prototype test prints. Some of them turned out exactly how I wanted them to, and some of them I had to sort of go back and change a few things for the final products, but I just wanted to show you what I mean by lift the flap fold out pieces. So this wardrobe in particular, I had to just fix a few things up on that one. I just did these sort of folksy floral illustrations, and I was trying to think of things like objects or just things that you could lift up that would sort of make sense. So this one's like a blanket, and then underneath you have some lines so you can do some journaling. So that's that one there. Then we have a door. So this one also, they all have lines, but you can also use just the top piece and just have that attached straight down onto a page and then have whatever you like underneath. So I'll talk about that a little bit more as I get into it. So there's just some fun different shapes. So there's this tree, and then this one is a tree house, and they just fold down like that. We've got a little kitty cat, and then this is like a little envelope, a little book or a journal, and then we've got this house piece. This one I just made a mistake with the prototype, so it'll be a little bit different. And then again, this one I accidentally cut off the tabs so I had to use some washi tape, but that's how it will open up when you use it correctly. It just won't have this tape over the top, but they're like the little shutters. And then this little wardrobe piece, which I made a few mistakes with when I was putting together as well, but it will open up like this and reveal some journaling underneath. I wanted to do this video so that I could show you how to put them together, just in case it was a little bit confusing. I don't think they're very confusing, but I just thought they might be. So I'll just show you how you put these together. So when you print these out, they come with two parts. So the first part is the fold out pieces, which look like this. So there's 4 pages of those. Mine are printed out with these lines on them just because my printer has been giving me a bit of trouble and was running out of ink. So they don't actually have these like printer lines on the original illustration. So you get all of these pieces, and most of them have these little tabs which you need to cut around as well. Don't cut them off like I did. And then a few of them work without the tabs. So that is the trees and the envelope. So this part of the envelope works as the tab, and then the trunk of the trees sort of works as the tab as well. The rest of them have these tabs that you need to be a little bit careful that you don't chop off when you're cutting these pieces out. So that's the first part, and then you also have these. The second part is the lined pieces. So these pieces fit perfectly underneath the illustrations. So this one goes with this one, as you can see. The idea is that when you lift up these pieces, you reveal some journaling space underneath, and then you can stick these down into your journal, so onto a page, and then it just gives you like an instant interactive decorative piece. I just realized that I've made a mistake. I don't know if this was actually a test print or if this was the final piece, and I've actually left this bit out, the backside of the cat. So I'll fix that up on Etsy before I publish this video, but they will all have a lined piece. that coincides with the flat piece. And I'm just going to show you how to put a few of them together, especially the ones that don't have flaps, because they might be a little bit more confusing. But basically we're just going to take some scissors and we're going to cut out the first part of the printables, which is the flat pieces. I'm just going to cut out a couple of them so that this video doesn't take forever long, and find the bottom piece of the envelope. So if you're a little bit confused which matches with which, the pages are numbered, so it'll be 2 and 2, and that matches with this one, so this will fit here. So I'm going to cut that little piece out as well, and as you can see, they fit together really well. So for the envelope, this top part of the envelope is going to act as the tab. So I'm going to take a bone folder and I'm going to fold this on this line as closely as I can. And then when I'm happy with that, I'll just take my bone folder and make sure it's creased really well, folded properly. And then all you have to do is attach this top piece to the bottom piece like this. So I just used, for these ones, I used double-sided tape, and that worked really well. You could also sew it, or you could stick it straight down into your journal. Like, you could sew it straight down, or you could use glue. But I'm just going to take some double-sided tape and attach those together. So just put some tape here next to the fold, and then I'll just take a little bit more for up the top, and then just going to attach those together as closely as you can. If you don't align them completely perfectly, you can always trim whatever's sort of overhanging at the bottom. So then that just gives you this really cute little lift the flap fold out, so you can stick this down into your journal. I don't have a journal at the moment. I need to finish making the one that I'm making for myself. I'm just waiting for some papers to come in the post so that I can add those papers into it, and I can't wait to get that done so I can start filming some more junk journal with me videos and a flip through and all of that. But I think these will look super cute in a journal. I just grabbed my last journal that I'm finished working in to show you what I mean. But so you would just attach this in onto a page, so you just apply your glue or adhesive, or you could sew it straight in as well and just attach it to the page wherever you want it, and then it just gives you this really cute little hidden journaling spot. And that's the same for all of the pieces that come in the pack. So I think they just add a nice little bit of interest and decoration to the page, and they're also really useful because you can put some journaling or some photos or something behind it. So it's really straightforward putting these together. I wanted to show you some of the trickier ones. They're still easy, but just in case it's confusing. So this one for the wardrobe. The wardrobe piece comes like this. So again, mine has lines on it just because my printer was playing up, but you get the doors of the wardrobe, and then you get the back of the wardrobe. So this will be hidden behind the doors. So this one works a little bit differently because I wanted the doors to sit in the middle of this piece. So along the dotted lines, you will need to take like an X-Acto knife or something and just cut a little slit along the dotted line, and that's going to create a place for the little tabs to sit into. So I'm just going to cut this out and show you how to do that. So you also want to cut the doors down the middle so that they can open. So that gives you 2 little individual doors. And then we're going to cut out this back of the wardrobe. And I think it's best to print these particular printables onto cardstock, or at least onto a thicker paper, especially for the fold out part of this. You want this to be kind of sturdy enough to be able to open and shut without getting creased or ripped. It's got to be a little bit stronger because it's a fold out piece. Then once you have this cut out, you just want to take like a cutting mat and a knife and a ruler and just line this up as best as you can along the dotted line. And I'm just going to take this knife and cut through the paper to create like a slit like that. and the same on the other side. And I'm just using the ruler to make sure that I'm cutting it straight, otherwise I would have a really wonky line. So you just want to cut through like this to have these little slits here. And then again with the tabs, we're just going to fold them. I just fold them back so that I can see if they're being folded straight. So you just fold over once and then go over with the bone folder so that it's folded properly. Repeat for the other door. So just line it up as best as you can. It's always a little bit trickier when you're using a thicker cardstock. And then you have your two little doors. And then all we're going to do is take the back piece here and we're going to slip the little tabs inside those slits that we just cut. So if it doesn't fit all the way in, mine does, but if it doesn't seem to fit the whole way in, you just may need to cut a little bit more if you haven't gone the whole way across the slit. So that is going to be glued onto the back there, and same for the other door. And then you've got this cute little wardrobe. Then I'm just going to go to the back side here and I'm just going to stick this down. I was going to use double-sided tape, but for this one, because the tabs are quite small, I might just get some sticky tape. So I'm just going to take some tape and I'm going to apply it at the back like this, and then repeat on the other door. And then when you glue this down into your journal, you're not going to see any of this on the back. But there, it just gives you this really cute little wardrobe that you could put a photo in here, or you could journal in there, or put whatever you like inside there, and I think that would be really cute. And then for the trees, so let me find the trees. These two go together. So I've written little instructions on the pages just in case it's a little bit confusing. But for the trees, at first I thought we would just glue up to here with the trunk as the tab, so straight down onto a page, and then you would fold this down to reveal the journaling. Then I figured, because this part of the illustration is quite thin, and because it's going to be folded, I don't want it to become weak and I don't want it to rip. So I thought it's probably better if you create the folds a little bit higher up into the tree. So this will fold up here instead of here, and that way it will just be, this will just be a little bit stronger. So I'm going to cut this out. So I've cut out the first part and now I'm going to cut out the second part. So cut out the second part, and then with these, I did originally have the trunk as part of the second part, but then I thought it's just more ink and you're not going to see it anyway. So we're going to put these together so they fit right, and then I'm just going to adhere this along the bottom. So I'm going to take some double-sided tape and I'm just going to attach it across the bottom here. It will cover up just that bottom line. So I'm just going to use double-sided tape to do this, but you can also use glue or your sewing machine or something. And then I'm just going to line these up as best as I can, like this. And then we're just going to fold this back, so you can sort of figure out where works best for you depending on where you've glued it. But just fold this back and then go over with my bone folder, and we've got this really cute little lift the flap tree, which I think will look super cute in a journal. So alternatively, instead of putting them together into little pieces like this, you can just attach them straight into your journal. So with the tree, you could just glue this piece down onto a page and then just glue the trunk down onto the page on top of it. So you can do it that way if you want to, or you don't have to print out the second pieces. You can just print out the flat fold outs and attach them straight down into a page and just create your own sort of little background that's going to be hidden underneath. With the house illustration, I thought I'll have two tabs on it, and that way you can pick which one you want to use depending on how you want this to open. If you want the house to open up sideways like this, you'll need to keep this tab on, but if you want it to open up like this way, you need to keep this tab on. Obviously you just need to pick one and cut the other one off. Now I'm just going to do the shutters because, as I said at the start of the video, I accidentally cut off the tabs of my shutters, which was really silly. So you definitely don't want to cut the tabs off. Can be easy to do if you're distracted like me. So with the shutters, we want to cut them down the middle just like we did with the wardrobe doors. And then this is the little lined piece that goes with the shutters. Just going to cut that out as well. So it's very, very simple. We're just going to take the little doors and we're going to fold the tabs over at the line, and then you might just want to go over with a bone folder, make sure that they're going to sit nicely, and repeat for the other side. And then we're just going to take the little shutter doors and we're just going to attach them to this piece. And I'm just going to take that double-sided tape. I'm going to cut it in half because it's a little bit too wide. Then I'm just going to put here and on the same place on the other side. And then flip it over and we've got this really cute little hidden journaling spot that we can stick down into our journal page. So there's 11 little pieces that come in the set. 11 is a really random number, but for some reason it just turned out that I had sort of 11 little things that I wanted to draw that I thought would be really cute. So there's 11 pieces. Like I said, you don't have to print out the full 8 pages. You can also just print out the first 4 pages, which are the fold outs, and then you can just stick them straight into your journal by the tabs. It just depends if you want that lined journaling space behind them or if you want to create your own piece to go behind them. The wardrobe piece, if you want it to be the full wardrobe, you will have to print out the second piece, or you could just use the doors on their own if you wanted to and attach them down onto a page. It would still be quite cute. I really like having the backside with them because then you can actually hide the tabs behind, whereas if you stuck them straight down onto a journal page, you would be able to see these tab pieces unless you sort of layered things on top, which you easily could do. It just depends what kind of look you like the best. While I'm here, I also just wanted to show you guys some little doily printables that I've added to my shop. So these are just like some sketchy doilies that I did. So it's a pack of 11, which again, really random number, but it just turned out that way. So you get a nice little variety of shapes and sizes. So you get some squares and some circles and some more oval shapes. So you can use them as like frames at the top of the page, or you can layer photos on top, or you could just journal inside. And I've just printed mine onto some really thin, like 80 GSM paper. It is off-white, it's like a natural color, so it doesn't look as sort of stark white as this, but you can print it onto any type of paper that you like to get a different look. I like to print all of my linen and doily printables onto thin paper like this because I usually glue them straight down onto a page, and then that way it doesn't add too much bulk to my journal. But if you wanted them to be like standalone journaling cards, you may want to print them onto something sturdier like this, or you could always just back them onto something like this if you wanted them to be just loose pieces in your journal. So that's what I've been up to, you guys. If you have any questions, you can just leave them down in the comments below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I'll leave a link down below to these little fold out printables and to the doily printables. Hopefully very soon I'll get the paper that I'm waiting for, and then I can finish binding my personal journal and film a flip through of that. I'm also going to film a flip through of the childhood journal that you guys are seeing me work in on my channel at the moment. There's 7 process videos total in that series, so once I finish sharing the process videos, I'm going to have a flip through. I'm also working on just 2 journals that will be for sale on my website when they're done eventually. I don't think they're anytime soon, but it does feel really good to finally be making journals again. I feel like I've had the biggest break ever, so I've been really missing making things with my hands. But I've really loved getting busy with drawing and being able to put some of my ideas out there, so I'll still be doing that as well. Anyway, I hope you guys are all doing really well, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.